today with us is our former client, Amy, and she's going to talk about what she had as a relationship with our firm and what we did for her to help her through her time of need. As we sit here, what is the top thing that comes to your mind as we sit here when I say the Dietrich Law Firm or Jed Dietrich?
Compassion. Compassion, loyalty. Like I said, you guys made me feel like part of the family. You're a great law firm to work with, and I would recommend you till the day I die. Like I said, I've recommended you to many people, and they've been happy with you. And like you said, sometimes big law firms are not compassionate. Sometimes being bigger doesn't mean better. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful.
Thank you so much.
You really changed my life, and I'm so glad I had you on my side, because going through a car accident is a very scary process. You don't know what's gonna happen to you, what your future holds, how you're gonna feed your children, how you're gonna pay your bills, and your law firm really helped me out a lot, and I appreciate that, and thank you.
Amy, thank you for being here to talk to our folks out there about what it was like to work with Jed Dietrich and the Dietrich Law Firm. As we sit here now, what would you like the folks out there to know about my firm?
There's always communication with your law firm.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling the Dietrich Law Firm.
The minute you call the law firm, you automatically talk to a person. And they sympathize at what people are going through. A lot of people don't do that, especially big law firms. They don't sympathize with what you're going through.
So you've got that background, Amy, having worked with a bigger law firm before working with us. And I think it's important for the folks out there to understand this. We can get involved. If you start with a different law firm, we can get involved as the case is proceeding. There's no additional attorney's fee to you. You don't pay any more. The most you pay in New York State is 1/3 of the settlement. You pay it at the end. We don't get any money or fees until the case is settled, and that's a settlement that you agree upon. You sign a document, which is called the release, and it indicates that you've agreed to settle the case for a certain amount of money. And the first thing that we should understand here, and the folks out there should understand, is the case typically takes with my office between a year, 12 months, and 18 months. That's the typical period of time. If you go to a lot of other law firms, especially the bigger law firms, typically it can be a different time frame than that, but those are the time frame windows that we typically work with, 12 to 18 months. So you may say, I don't want to bring a case because it's going to take years and years. That's not the case at all. And if you've been injured and it wasn't your fault, contact us at calljed.com, CALLJED.com. Go to my website on your phone or on your computer, and you can click text to us and we'll respond to you. You can dial our phone number through your phone or your computer, and we're there for you. We return every phone call within 2 hours. That's our goal as a law firm. Definitely return every phone call within 1 business day. That's a guarantee and a commitment we provide to every client out there, because other law firms are known for not returning their phone calls. And when I started my firm almost 20 years ago, the core foundation was our mission statement, which is to provide the highest level of personal injury service, but to do it in a way that's compassionate and to do it in a way that communicates with our clients. And that means returning those phone calls. So as you said, Amy, you worked with a bigger firm, the communication wasn't there, you switched to our firm, the communication was there, the empathy, the sympathy, the compassion. These are things that we pride ourselves on, and if you're out there and you were injured, you don't know where to turn, contact us. You can do your homework on our website. It's important to know you can pay 1/3 to get the best lawyer in New York State, and you can pay 1/3 to get a lawyer who's not the best lawyer. We like to pride ourselves on getting the results for our clients that are the optimal outcome. That's our goal for you. And we can't guarantee the optimal outcome, but what we can guarantee is to communicate with you, to treat you the way we want to be treated, and to work hard on your behalf to get the result that's the proper result.
And that was the biggest thing with me, is communication, because I had so many questions. And to be able to communicate with you on a weekly basis was amazing for me. The other law firm, they took 2.5 weeks before I even got a call back.
I'll tell you, that is a common situation. I'm a lawyer. Obviously, I run my law firm. I've had occasion to hire other lawyers to help me in an area of law that I don't handle. And recently, I called that lawyer and had a retainer agreement, gave him a retainer, gave him money up front to work on my case. And I called him and I said, what's going on with the case? And left a message. And I don't get a call back. And I'm the lawyer.
Yes.
Lawyer doesn't call another lawyer back,
Yes.
which is beyond my comprehension to think that as a service person, lawyers are service people, to not call someone back when there's been an inquiry. I wouldn't have called and you wouldn't call unless you have a problem and you need help.
Right.
If you're out there and you have a problem and you need help, call us. 716-839-3939. We pride ourselves on communicating with our clients, treating our clients the way we want to be treated, and fighting to obtain the absolute best top result on your behalf as a result of you being injured because of someone else's negligence. When you're in an accident, you don't know where to turn, contact us at calljed.com. What we will do is we will investigate the circumstances of your injury. We've got a team of investigators, accident reconstructionists, a team of folks that will review your file in my office, and also we have outside experts that we may have to hire to work on your behalf in conjunction with us to present the case in the best possible way. The insurance companies know the law firms that are not willing to go to trial. We are more than willing to go to trial. We go to trial frequently, and we are not afraid to go to trial. That's important because if the insurance company thinks you're not willing to go to trial, your law firm's known as a firm that doesn't go to trial, they are just not going to pay you fair value. They're not going to pay you top value unless they know you're prepared to go to trial. Does that mean your case has to go to trial? Absolutely not. 98% of our cases do not go to trial. And that's important for the folks out there to understand. 98% of our cases do not go to trial. That means they settle short of going into court. Many settle short of even being filed in the New York State Supreme Court, because what we do is we interact with you. We make it very simple to hire our services. We can do it through your phone, through DocuSign. You don't even have to leave your home. We can come to your home if you want, but we can just do it through your phone. There's no fee for us. There's absolutely no fee for our phone calls. You can call us as many times as you want, and we will interact with you and answer your questions. We're there to fight for you and to fight for you strongly, robustly, and zealously on your behalf in an effort to get you what you're due, to try to get the absolute best amount of compensation for you so at the end of the day, hopefully you can go away from this, move on with your life, and it's been an experience that we've made better because we were there for you on your behalf. Amy, thank you so much for everything you've given us this morning.
Thank you, Jed. It was so good to see you again.
It was my pleasure.
Welcome to Jed Dietrich's presentation on what to do after you suffered a personal injury. In this presentation, you will hear from real clients, not paid actors, concerning what it's like to just call Jed after you've been injured. Jed will discuss how he and his firm follow the golden rule, file the documentation to preserve your rights, and collect the best evidence to build the best case to attempt to obtain the best result for you. For more information, you can always go to calljed.com.
We're here to tell you what to do when someone was negligent or reckless and they caused an injury to you and you have a right to compensation. You may be saying, should I call a lawyer? You absolutely should call a lawyer if you were injured and it wasn't your fault. 100%. That is what you should receive for every injury and loss. 100% of your wages, 100% of your pain and suffering, 100% of your medical bills. I can guarantee that I will fight to obtain 100% for you. Call me at 839-3939.
Call 839-3939. Just call Jed.
I will battle for 100% of your compensation, wages, medical bills, pain and suffering.
Call 839-3939. Just call Jed.
Contact us at calljed.com, CALLJED.com. I'm here with Andy, who's one of our former clients. Andy, good to see you.
Hi, Jed. Good to see you.
Thank you for coming in today.
Sure.
Let's just talk about what happened to you. Again, you were minding your own business and something occurred. Go ahead.
Right, so not actually too far from where we live. I was just out running some errands. I happen to have my 5-month-old with me, and we were just approaching an intersection as if it was a normal, everyday activity. And there was a car that was slowed down in the intersection, waiting to make a left turn, and a car came from behind and right through the intersection and just head-on nailed us.
And now it was a period of time, a number of weeks after the incident until when you contacted us. Let's talk about your thinking on that.
Correct. So initially, this was a Friday that the accident happened. I actually went back to work the following Monday, but it quickly became evident that I couldn't work with the injury that I had. I gave them like a 2-week period of time where I think I needed to take a couple weeks and just kind of let this heal and get better. So it had gotten to, about 8 weeks, 2 months after the accident, but trying to call the insurance company to set up my lost wage payments. And after 2 months, it gets to be frustrating. So at that point, it was kind of like a watershed moment where I realized there's not anybody that's out there helping me. There's not anybody fighting for my behalf. So if I want something done, I'm going to have to go and find somebody who I can get results from. And that's when, I called your office.
Well, I'm glad you gave the background to the folks out there. There are a couple of things I think people out there, if you're injured and you're at home and you don't know where to turn, you don't know who to contact, you can contact us at calljed.com, CALLJED.com. That website has a text feature. You can text us and we'll text you back. It has a direct to our office line number where you can just click on it from your phone or from your computer. And what we do is we get involved to correct and solve the problems you have, and then also to make you feel a little bit better about it, set your mind at ease. The background you just provided, Andy, you're in a collision, it's a heavy impact, the airbag goes off, you get 15 stitches right from the get-go, didn't know how serious it was, you tried to get back to work. We have many clients like this who try to get back to work, hard workers, they don't want to miss time from their job that they've been at for 15 years. So you made a reference to the fact that that insurance company wasn't interacting with your HR department properly. We get involved in that. We will interact with your HR department on your behalf. We will get involved and interact with your no-fault company. And it's important to note, one of the largest law firms in New York State that handles car accident cases, they don't handle the no-fault on behalf of their clients. They don't call that no-fault company. They don't call the client's own company to fight for them. So this is a newsflash for folks out there. Insurance companies, whether it's your own company or the defendant's company, they are against you. Your own company will fight you to cut you off of your wages, your medical, just like the defendant's insurance company will. We fight both companies on the client's behalf, on your behalf, Andy. So you contacted us about 8 weeks after the collision. You obviously weren't litigious from the get-go. I would suggest that anyone who's out there, if you're in an accident, you were injured, call us sooner rather than later, because then we can help with the investigation. We can help with the forms that need to be filled out. In New York State, you have to fill out forms promptly, some as short as 30 days after the collision. If there's more than $1,000 worth of damage in a car accident in New York State, you're supposed to file what's known as an MV-104 form with the Department of Motor Vehicles. We do that on your behalf. We fill that form out in conjunction with you and submit it for you so it's done. If you don't fill it in, your driver's license can be suspended. So you don't even cause the accident, but if you don't fill out the form, your driver's license could be suspended. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's the way the law works. We're there to protect you, to fight for you. Now, we did get your case settled. It was settled within a proper time window. Why don't you talk about the interaction between our office and you with the information that was really pertinent to the arc of the medical treatment and getting back to work and then thinking and trying to get the case resolved?
Sure. So I called the office looking for somebody who would fight on my behalf to, coordinate all these different parties, the insurance company, HR, the other party's insurance company, who had also gotten a few phone calls from. And it was just a matter of at what point do I need somebody looking out for my best interest? And that's when I called out to your office. And it should be noted that 5 business days, it was 5 business days after I called your office, I got 2 months of lost wages. So it didn't take long. But there was some disconnect between the insurance company and my HR department. You guys snapped to it and it was done.
So again, what happened was, just to recap, you got insurance for your car and you actually purchased additional insurance above the minimum in New York State. And at some point during the case, there were wages that were paid in excess of what the New York State minimum was, and you paid for this extra insurance. They still tried to get it recouped from the defendant's insurance company. And we fought for you on your behalf and resolved that in a way that was to your benefit, that if you didn't have us to represent you on that, and you tried to do it alone, I can assure you it would have been a different result. But it just proves the insurance companies are there to protect themselves and to keep as much money as they can in their pocket. We're there to fight for you on your behalf.
A 5-minute phone call. Just make the 5-minute phone call. You don't have to think you have a case. You don't have to think any of that. But it's a lonely place to be sometimes when you're trying to figure out and navigate. I've got to talk to this party and that party and figure out what's going on. Call and get somebody on your side.
Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. What makes my law firm stand apart from the rest? Returning every phone call within one business day, treating you the way we want to be treated, and fighting to obtain maximum compensation for you.
Call 839-3939, just call Jed.
Welcome back to our presentation on what to do after you're injured and it wasn't your fault. I'm Jed Dietrich, the president of the Dietrich Law Firm. I have a team of legal professionals that are here for you in your time of need. If you need us, contact us at our website, www.calljed.com. That's CALLJED.com. Right now, I've got some information from one of our top senior trial attorneys at the office, Nicholas Shemek. Good to have you with us here, Nick. We're here to tell the folks out there what we can do for them. Before we get there, though, I'd like you to just tell the folks out there what it's like for you to be a member of our team.
Well, thanks for having me. The Dietrich Law Firm, when you say that, it's got a presence. I think people know us. We have a reputation that I think you built for us that we are trying to follow in front of and push forward even further. And when you have a team of professionals behind you and you kind of build a rapport with not only your inner workings with the office, but with that reputation, you're out in the legal community and people know that. They know to expect certain things. They know that we're going to be aggressive, that we're going to be tenacious, that we're going to fight for our clients, that we're not afraid to go toe-to-toe with the big insurance companies, that we're not afraid to take a case all the way to trial. And I think that is something that actually means a lot in our business.
So our mission statement at the Dietrich Law Firm is to provide the highest level of personal injury service. In that vein, Nick Shemek is part of our legal team as a senior associate lawyer in the office. Excellent trial lawyer, has done a great job for us in the courtroom and out of the courtroom. Now, if you're at home and you're saying to yourself, I don't know if I want to call a lawyer because it might take too long, or I don't want to go into court, it's important to note 98% of our cases settle before trial. The vast majority. It's only the very small percentage that go to trial. Nick, you've been with the firm 7 going on 8 years now. As we've grown and we've gone from Western New York, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, toward the city and down into Long Island, we've had the opportunity to help more people. Some of the cases we've handled recently that are a little unusual, obviously we handled the car accident cases, the slip and fall cases, the serious medical malpractice cases, but there are some other cases. The one that comes to mind, Nick, is the case where we represented a young lady who was camping at a governmental institution. She rented a cabin at one of the local areas out in the country, and that cabin wasn't properly maintained. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So, you got a family they get together every year. They're going to do their annual camping trip, and this year happened to be her niece's birthday. It was going to be a first birthday party. They get about 30 people together. They all rent different cabins at a state facility, and they are going to contribute to a nice family dinner. So our client, who's an excellent cook and something that she enjoyed deeply as a passion, decides she's going to contribute some gravy. So she goes and for the first time while she's there decides, I'm going to use the stovetop, thinking it's completely safe. And as she puts the gravy pan on the top burner and she's got her mixing bowl to the left and she's going to take the solution of flour to put into the gravy pan, she doesn't realize that before she got there, the cleaning crew forgot to check to make sure that the stove was grounded. Policy that they followed every single time that wasn't followed this time. So when she goes to take her whisk from the left bowl into the gravy pan on the right, she completes the circuit between the two metal poles and zaps herself, electrocutes herself on a 220 volt line. Immediately feels the sensations go through her hands. She tries as best she can to walk herself out of that moment and stop the electricity from flowing. As she's able to do so, she unfortunately permanently damages the nerve endings in her hands and develops something called sensory peripheral neuropathy, permanent condition where it constantly feels like there's glass under her skin, a burning sensation that just will never go away. Obviously, it was a very traumatic incident and develops post-traumatic stress disorder from that continues to haunt her to this day. So that case we took all the way twice. It was bifurcated, had to go to trial on the liability portion, won 100% liability against the state for obviously failing to follow their own policies and procedures. They wouldn't offer the right number, so we took it all the way second time to verdict on the damages and obtained, I believe, one of the only documented verdicts for that specific type of injury, not only here in the state, but across the country.
And that's a case that we're very proud of, and you did a great job on it, Nick. I know the client was happy. She's referred to us a number of other clients that she thought that we would do a good job for, so that was rewarding. I think it's important for the folks out there to understand there are many negligent landlords, and in this case it was the state of New York that was negligent in not making sure that electric oven and stovetop was grounded. And the state had a specific rule that after the cabin was cleaned, the grounding for that stovetop was supposed to be checked. They didn't check it, and unfortunately our client was permanently injured. And that just delineates the fact that we're more than happy, more than willing to go all the way to trial on that case. And then we had to continue on with post-trial motions, and ultimately the state did pay us on that one. Nick, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the folks out there about the way we handle our cases and your personal experience working in this team?
Sure. I mean, I think the biggest thing that we do is, obviously we get results, but how do we get those results? We get the results because we get to know our clients. And those people contact us to represent them in that time of need. And I think, since the day that I started here and all the way through now, I think that's always been important, is focusing on the individual that you're representing. It's not just about the process, it's not just about the legal procedures, it's about learning about your client to do the best possible job for them.
What makes my law firm stand apart from the rest? Returning every phone call within one business day, treating you the way we want to be treated, and fighting to obtain maximum compensation for you.
Call 839-3939, just call Jed.
Best results, happy clients. That is Jed's mission. Just call Jed now at 839-3939.
Call 839-3939, just call Jed.
Welcome back to our presentation on what to do after an injury when it's not your fault. I'm Jed Dietrich, the president of the Dietrich Law Firm. What we're doing now is talking about what you need to do to preserve your rights, and that's to contact us, because insurance companies are not out there to protect you. They're there to protect their insurance company shareholders. I'm here with Rebecca Postic, one of my associate lawyers at the Dietrich Law Firm, and she's here to talk about what it's like to work in our firm and what we do for our clients to help them in their time of need. Thanks for coming in today, Rebecca.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about what it's like as your position has grown into what you are now in the firm as an associate lawyer. So why don't you talk to the folks about that?
Over the years, it's been fantastic watching this office grow and really develop into what it has become. When you come to the Dietrich Law Firm, you're not just getting Jed, though your guidance and your experience is integral and very important in getting the clients the results that we can get them. But you've hand-selected every single office member here, and everyone here is truly here with a passion to help our clients and get them the best results we possibly can.
You identified our core mission statement, which is providing that in the highest level of personal injury service to our clients. So highest level of personal injury service. You mentioned, Rebecca, having gone through almost every position in my office, you have a great background on what happens in the settlement package department and what happens in the bill of particulars department. And as the case goes through, we keep the clients updated as to what's going on with the case. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So many people, this is their first accident and hopefully their only accident. But you really don't know what to expect when you walk into it. And our office has handled hundreds, if not thousands of cases from start to finish, and we know how to guide a client through that. You might not know what to expect, or what does it mean if I get cut off of this IME or the specialty by an IME. And so our office can show you that it's not as intimidating as it might seem, and we really provide that level of comfort for someone as they're going through the litigation process from the first day they were involved in the accident until hopefully their claim reaches a resolution.
I give my cell phone number to every single client in this office, and we service all of New York State and the adjoining states around New York. We're admitted in Pennsylvania. We've got cases in Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey. We work in conjunction with other law firms, but still have the interaction with you and represent you in court. So we're there for you. If you're injured in the New York State area, the tri-state area, car accident, slip and fall, ceiling collapse, medical malpractice, we're there for you. It costs nothing to interact with us. It costs nothing to call us. You can get to us through your cell phone at calljed.com. We have a texting feature. We've got a direct line to our office where you can click a button on your phone at our website, goes directly to our office. We're there to help you 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we return every single phone call within one business day. So Rebecca, as we talk further to the folks out there about what we do for them, what is the thing that you like most about your position here at the office?
I enjoy interacting with the clients and really helping them through the stressful time. So many people are scared when they walk in the door. They're scared because they don't know what their injuries are. They're scared because they don't know how their life is going to be impacted by this accident. Will it ever get back to the way it was before, the day before the accident? And we can never take someone back to the day before the accident, but what we can do is try and make it right by getting them, fighting for the best compensation we possibly can for them, and holding their hand throughout this process to make sure they're as comfortable as possible.
What makes my law firm stand apart from the rest? Returning every phone call within one business day, treating you the way we want to be treated, and fighting to obtain maximum compensation for you.
Call 839-3939, just call Jed.
But at what point do I need somebody looking out for my best interest? And that's when I called out to your office.
Compassion, loyalty. You guys made me feel like part of the family.
I will battle for 100% of your compensation.
We know that we're going to be aggressive, that we're going to be tenacious, that we're going to fight for our clients.
Everyone here is truly here with a passion to help our clients and get them the best results we possibly can.
So if you're at home and you're injured and it wasn't your fault, call us. Go to our website, www.calljed.com.
And it should be noted that 5 business days, it was 5 business days after I called your office, I got 2 months of lost wages. So it didn't take long when you guys snapped to it and it was done.
You're a great law firm to work with, and I would recommend you till the day I die.
Call Jed.
Never settle for less. Call 839-3939, just call